You've been leaking power your entire life, and you never felt the wound. You thought you were being polite, reasonable, and mature. You thought explaining yourself made you look strong. You were wrong. Every time you explained yourself to someone who never intended to understand you, you handed them control. You felt it afterward, a quiet irritation you could not name. You replayed the conversation in your head while they moved on untouched. You called it overthinking, but it was something else. It was power leaving your body without permission. You learned early that keeping things calm mattered. You learned that making scenes felt dangerous. You learned that silence felt safer than conflict. You learned to smooth things over before anyone got uncomfortable. You learned to explain yourself so others would not misunderstand you. You did not realize you were training people how to treat you. You are here because part of you knows something has been wrong for a long time. You are here because you are tired of giving explanations that change nothing. You should subscribe now, not for motivation, but for protection of what still belongs to you. You live in a culture where over-explaining is mistaken for kindness. You apologize before anyone accuses you. You justify yourself before anyone questions you. You soften your truth so others feel comfortable. You think this keeps peace. What it really does is mark you as manageable. You do not notice it at first. You just feel slightly smaller after each interaction. You feel drained without knowing why. You feel misunderstood even when you spoke clearly. You feel invisible even when you were present. This is not accidental. You were taught that explaining yourself makes you reasonable. Nobody told you it also makes you predictable. Predictable people are easy to control. You start to notice it in daily life. You answer messages you do not respect. You respond to comments that were never made in good faith. You defend decisions that do not require approval. You explain boundaries instead of enforcing them. You feel responsible for other people's reactions. You confuse emotional labor with maturity. You believe silence will make things worse. You fear being misunderstood more than being disrespected. This fear keeps you talking when you should be still. You think staying calm means staying available. It does not. It means staying exposed. The more you explain, the more people feel entitled to an answer. The more you clarify, the more they question you. The more you justify yourself, the more they probe. You do not see the trap because it feels polite. You do not see the trap because it feels civilized. You do not see the trap because everyone around you does the same thing. Normal behavior is not neutral behavior. Normal behavior is trained behavior. You are rewarded early for being agreeable. You are punished early for being firm. So you adapt. You explain instead of enforce. You respond instead of withdraw. You give words where silence would have ended the situation. This is where discomfort begins. Something in you resists this pattern. You feel tension before replying. You feel your chest tighten before explaining again. You hesitate before hitting send. That hesitation is your instinct waking up, but you override them. You tell yourself you are being mature. You tell yourself you are being reasonable. You tell yourself it is easier this way. Easier is not safer. Easier is not stronger. Easier is often submission disguised as peace. At some point, explaining yourself stops being communication. It becomes compliance. This is where most people turn back. This is where you are supposed to feel uncomfortable. You start to notice who demands explanations from you. You start to notice who never explains themselves. You start to notice the imbalance. One side speaks more. One side carries the emotional weight. One side feels tired. One side holds the power. You feel resistance now because this threatens how you survive socially. You worry silence will make you look rude. You worry silence will make you look weak. You worry silence will make you lose control. This is the illusion. Silence is where control actually begins. Here is the truth that changes everything. The moment you explain yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, you surrender authority. Not because you are wrong, but because you showed them your attention is available on demand. Attention is not neutral. Attention is currency, and you have been spending it carelessly. The most powerful people you know explain the least. They estate. They act. They withdraw. They withdraw. They do not chase understanding. They let others adjust. This is what was never taught to you. Silence is not absence. Silence is selection. Silence tells people where your boundaries are without negotiation. Silence forces others to sit with their discomfort instead of exporting it to you. Silence exposes who respected you and who only tolerated you. This is why silence feels dangerous at first. It removes your ability to manage reactions. It removes your ability to smooth things over. It removes your role as emotional translator, and that role was never meant to be yours. This is the point where you should subscribe again. Not because you agree, but because part of you feels exposed right now. From here, something changes. You stop explaining yourself automatically. You pause. You feel the urge to justify rise. You let it pass. You choose restraint over reaction. You notice who grows uncomfortable. You notice who pushes harder. You notice who disappears. This information is power. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming precise. You are reclaiming attention that was never meant to be public property. When you stop explaining, people project onto you. Their insecurity fills the silence. Their need for control becomes visible. You no longer need to argue. You no longer need to convince. You let outcomes speak. This is the residue silence leaves behind. People feel unsettled around you, not because you are aggressive, but because you are no longer predictable. You do not rush to be understood. You allow misunderstanding to exist. Only those who respect you stay curious. Duress fade that is not loss. That is filtration. Here's the exposing question you must sit with. Who benefits when you explain yourself too much? Share this carefully because not everyone benefits from hearing it. Subscribe quietly if you are ready to choose silence over surrender.